But we're giving it a shot. Me and Joaquin coming out for a little walk today while Mommy and Grandma spend some time together. And so here we are coming up on my birthday this weekend on Sunday, April 26th. I'll be turning 49 years old. And Joaquin's going to actually be 6 months on Monday the 27th. And so I kind of was just reflecting on, this first 6 months of being a first-time dad at 48, and some of the things that have really just stood out to me and things I've learned. Come on, puppy. Come on, puppy. It's been awesome being this little boy's dad. I definitely wouldn't trade it for anything, even at this age, especially at this age. It's just been a tremendous blessing, and I'm very grateful. But yeah, being a first-time dad at 48 is definitely no joke. But it's had so many ups, rather than the downs, that I highly recommend parenthood for anybody, even guys who are near 50 like myself. One of the things that I've really come to experience is just a great appreciation for having this boy. Not having my first child till 48 was not my intention, but it is how it turned out. And you know what? I think it turned out for the best, honestly. Because what this has done for me, having this boy, has just reinvigorated me. It's just lit a fire, And I want to be more. I want to be better. I think when most people are kind of gearing down, getting close to 50, kids are going to college and couples are looking forward to having that kind of private time and kind of sailing into the golden years. Well, we're just getting warmed up, and I think it's all by God's purpose and design. I think that He knew in His infinite wisdom that at this age in my life and at this stage in my life, I needed a kick in the pants. I need to not gear down. I needed to gear up. And I'm excited about life. It's like a shot in the arm. Rather than having a midlife crisis, I'm having a midlife, reinvention. I get to, experience parenthood at this age now where, I have a lot of practical wisdom and just patience and understanding. A lot of the things that I just didn't have in my 20s or 30s, and but I have now because I've lived life. And I think one of the best things about getting older is you just you care a lot less about what other people think, and you care a lot more about your impact and your legacy. You know what I mean? And for me, I'm not trying to check off a bucket list. I'm not trying to impress anybody. I just want to be able to leave this boy with something that's going to establish him for his life and his family, that'll have value, that'll go beyond financial preparation or inheritance, but really a spiritual legacy is what I'm concerned with. Something that's going to last beyond this normal life. I'm done chasing. I'm done sowing the wild oats. I'm done, comparing myself with other people and trying to keep up with the Joneses and all that stuff that just drives people crazy. And I'm done with all that. And so now I get to put my full focus and my intention on, raising this kid. Teaching him right and growing him and, and really being there to father him. And so I'm excited. I'm so excited because when I get home from work, I want to be with him. I want to spend time with him. I don't want to, I'm not interested in building a man cave or getting my fishing time in on the weekend. I want to spend time with him, and I want to be able to bring something real to his life. You got issues, man. I will have to admit, though, since having Joaquin, I've definitely neglected my firstborn over there. Definitely have not had the time with him that I need to, and I feel bad about it. So I'm trying to make more time to spend with him as well, because he is a good dog. And I know he's brought a lot of joy to us. He's filled a tremendous gap while we were waiting for this little man to be born. And so I do owe Bucky, a tremendous thank you and to him and the joy he's brought to our life, and actually the joy he brings to Joaquin. He gets a kick out of just watching him run around and do crazy stuff. I can't wait till he's old enough to actually play with him and chase him around the yard and throw the ball with him and all that good stuff. I know that's going to be fun times. And so, another thing that, I've learned here at this age of almost 49, here in a few days, being a first-time dad, is I really just learned to appreciate the small things, the small moments. We've had a lot of open this up here. A lot of things going on in the world, a lot of crazy stuff happening. Time's flying by, and I've really just grown to just love the quiet times with him and the small moments like this, just walking around the backyard or going to the park, or just playing with him on his mat, getting his tummy time in. I've just really found myself in a in a place where I don't really need to be entertained very much. I'd rather entertain him, and so whether it's just us looking through a picture book or reciting the ABCs, man, I really have just enjoyed the small tender moments. It almost seems like it's just going so fast, like I just want to hit the pause button at this age, because he's just so cute and he's so aware of everything, and he's starting to speak a little bit, and he's really starting to kind of come into his own personality, and it's just so amazing to watch, and I love it. I just want to absorb it all. I want to hit the pause button, not so I don't age, but so he doesn't age, if that makes sense. And he's just amazing, and it's been great. But I guess kind of lastly, something that I've really been thinking about as well is, at this age, having a child, my first child at 48, and now I'm gonna almost be 49. I've come to realize, and I've come to accept that there are certain limits. My body's not 20, 28 or 29. I've really got to prioritize my health a little bit more, and I've got to kind of pace myself with my work and just the physicality of my life, so I can get a few more miles out of the tires. You know what I mean? I know that I'm not even looking at lifespan as necessarily the limit, because just because I'm going to be 49 and somebody else might be 29 doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to outlive me. So I'm not looking at necessarily trying to live to be 150 or whatever, but just a better quality of the life that I have. And so I've realized now, chasing him, picking him up and holding him and doing stuff with him after a long day of work, and then getting up the next day. My job's very physical too. My recovery time's just not where it was even 5 to 10 years ago. And so I've really had to be more mindful of that, and just kind of, try to dial some things in a little bit more. Instead of, having my bowl of Bluebell, every night, I'll do it every other night. Right, Papa? He tasted ice cream for the first time a couple days back, and I think he's hooked. But, no, I'm just kidding. But, it's really just kind of, saving some things for later so I can experience them with him, So if I pass on sweets, if I, You know, if I deny myself certain things now, I'm thinking, well, I get to enjoy them with him later. You know what I mean? And rather than just kind of scratching every itch that comes up for me personally right now, you know. And so I'm so, you know, looking forward to the time that I do have. You know, none of us know how much time we have left on the clock, but I want to make it count. I want to make it quality. You know, and I had read an article online a while back when Kim first got pregnant, from a woman who was born to parents who were about our age when they had her. And she said, you know, some stuff that I really found interesting. And she said, you know, she had friends that obviously have had a little bit more time with their parents because they lived a little longer. Her parents passed away. But she said, man, the quality that she had with them just far outweighs that of most of her peers. And so that's my goal with this little dude. I want to bring up the quality of the life that we have together, because none of us can control the quantity. And so, you know, hey, let's wish Joaquin, you're coming up on Monday, a happy 6-month birthday. And thank all you guys for your prayers and your, you know, support and your love for us as we've gone down this journey, and all the encouragement we've gotten from everybody, and all the late bloomers out there. You know, holler at us, let us know who you are. We'd love to hear your story. And, you know, stay tuned, because we're here in real life. Say bye, Papa. Say bye.